Good morning,
Morning.
ECHS 10th grade students. Welcome to week 2 of English class. We're going to be going over some things, and so I'm going to start sharing my screen. This is our agenda for this week's video. We're going to be going over the benchmark project. We're going to be reviewing responses from last week, and we're going to be going over this week's assignments. So our benchmark project, we have this whole write-up for it. We're going to link it on the Google Classroom. So hopefully you have access to that as I'm speaking right now. It looks like this.
So the essential question for this entire benchmark, which will again take us till the end of the school year, is how has COVID-19 impacted our world system? So the kind of big idea that we're looking at is this virus has really highlighted society's inequalities, especially with major systems relating to people, profit, and planet, okay? So as we kind of look at each of these different topics, planet, people, and profit, we're going to be looking at these different systems that go with each topic.
You can read through the rest of the benchmark project outline, including the due date, the requirements. It has listed everything that you're going to be doing. And the rubric, we're not going to be going over that because we want you to read it through and then ask us questions at the end. So that's part 2, we want to review some of the responses from last week. And to do that, I went into the Google Classroom, I commented on some folks' assignments on the evidence tracker, and then I copy pasted and posted their golden lines onto this Jamboard. And what I noticed was that, well, everything that has a red star on it was actually a tweet. People went to the article, clicked on the link, and then it looks like, I would say 75% of you stopped reading right here. The article kept going, and there's a lot more that this article was about than just the tweets. And that's just one of the reasons why I wish folks had read the article. The other reason was tweets, y'all.
Getting to this topic of tweets, okay? So when we are actually researching, creating theses, we have to look at credible sources. And so those are the videos that I'm going to be posting on Google Classroom. I've already uploaded the slides that go with that lesson. Tweets, we do not count as credible sources, especially if they're coming from just random people. Those are opinions. Those aren't most times really founded in fact, right? Now, let's say that the CDC or the mayor of LA posts a tweet, right? Like, those are credible sources, right? But you also need to take a step backwards and really look at, okay, where are these people getting their information from, okay? So it really is, yes, like tweets are really easy for us to kind of look at and be like, oh, that makes total sense, right? Like, I'm gonna use that as evidence. But Twitter is not a credible news source. So that is why we are kind of guiding us all together through these sources so we can really look at credible articles that really attack our essential question and the different topics that we're exploring.
And I get that a lot of people just wanted to focus on the positive, like, yay, fish swimming, and yay, like, the world is getting better. But like, actually, the point of this article is that it's not. Like, this viewpoint of like, look at how wonderful the planet is a very narrow-minded way of looking at being an environmentalist. In fact, one person found this golden line here about how looking at it as separate, people and planet, is flawed. And also looking at humans and planet or environment as separate is narrow-minded and also a privileged point of view.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, I wanted to be vulnerable for a minute and share with all of y'all too. Like, that was my perspective as well when all of this started coming out and I heard that dolphins are in the Venetian Canal, right? And all, it's very natural for us to want to focus on the positive, especially in these very like uncertain times. But as Miss Roberta said, like I really had to check myself. I had to take a step back. I had to recognize that perspective really is one of privilege, and why now more than ever it's so important to have research skills that gives you a more, I want to say, like holistic kind of view of this very, very complicated topic.
Yeah, because if it's not benefiting people, profit, and planet, then it's not sustainable. So I think the easy way out would be to just do this project and talk about like how perfect everything is for the planet, and it's not, because you're ignoring humans, right? And the inequalities that we're facing right now. I won't say everybody focused on those tweets and the positivity. Instead, some people actually found other connections. One person said, oh, it shows how people will have less access to food. Another person found in the article that basically this pandemic has shown us proof that human activity affects the environment. But notice that there's no judgment on that. They're not saying, and this is wonderful. They're just commenting on how humans have impacted the earth. Another person wrote that the argument in the article was that despite the planet getting better, we were seeing some income and economic inequalities, which is pretty dark when you think about like, oh, the planet is getting better, even though there's people that don't have access to food.
Yeah.
And one person wrote that there are people only saying that the environment is benefiting from COVID-19. So this reflection makes sense to me. They synthesized all of the tweets and they said, oh, like every single tweet here is only talking about how the environment is benefiting, but not saying about how people are not benefiting, right? And lastly, I wanted to give a shout out to Ethan, who basically
Ethan
wrote out his entire reflection on how this project or how this problem and pandemic has impacted a bunch of different systems and how they're all interconnected. If you're curious, ask him. He has the answer. He's 3 steps ahead of y'all. So yay, Ethan.
Yay, Ethan.
Next up, this week's assignments. You're going to continue to use the evidence tracker. However, we want you to first read the benchmark project outline. As Ms. Holbert said,
please read the benchmark outline, and then you ask us questions after you read, especially about what could your benchmark actually even look like. And then you can, of course, reach out to us through comments on Google Classroom. Remember, Ms. Rivera and I use the same Google Classroom now, so we are getting these same notifications, email, or of course you can message me through Instagram.
Secondly, we want you to fill out that evidence tracker. This time, you're doing 3 articles, but to clarify, each article goes in 1 row with 1 golden line and with 1 reflection. Some of y'all did too much because clearly you didn't watch the video or read the instructions. Okay, hopefully you're watching this. 3 articles, 1 per row. Hey y'all, I wanted to show you quickly it's like a video in a video, so this is gonna be a thing. Some of y'all did too much with your evidence trackers last week, so I wanted to show you what you have to do specifically this week. So last week you're supposed to find a golden line from this article. I have copied this golden line here. I put it into, there's my golden line. So here you would put your reflection. And then for author, who's that? This week, we're asking you to use this document, which has a bunch of different articles. So I'm going to go ahead and click the one that I'm going to be reading out loud today, which is highlighted in yellow. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to put it into my tracker. Now, I need to have the article name and the connection to a system. So the article, the way I put the name in is to just copy the link by going Control-C, going back to here on your tracker, typing it in, and then if you hover over it or click it, it can ask you if you want to replace the URL with its title, and I say yes. And then this has to do with the environment and pollution, so I'm going to highlight that system. Okay, and then I will type in my reflection here, or do a vocaroo and put in my reflection here. If you accidentally did a bunch of them last week and you want to add another row so that you can do your 3 articles for this week, you scroll to the bottom of your tracker, and then you have to go up to Format, scroll down to Table, and then say Insert Row Below. And that's how you get another row. Hope this all made sense, and I hope it wasn't too long.
Yes. Remember, you can also use video links as acceptable, credible sources. But our biggest push, especially with these kind of like articles, are credibility, right? They are from credible sources. And again, watch the video I uploaded on Google Classroom to review that more.
This week we have a document that we're going to be posting that's called COVID-19 Articles for EnGAlish. And you'll notice that it has the topics already split up. So we have profit, people, and planet down below. We also have subtopics, and then we have the articles linked in every subtopic. I'm going to be reading aloud this highlighted article during my office hours today. And Holbert is going to be reading one from the people topic.
And again, office hours, I'll be reading that. And then I'll also be going over, okay, is this a credible source? And then also filling out an evidence tracker row with you during office hours. And I believe for this week, right, Ms. Rivera, we agreed that you can use the articles that we read during office hours as 2 of your articles for your assignment this week.
Yeah, so we already did the easy part for you, which was compile a bunch of research articles onto this document. You're welcome to use your own. However, if you want to watch our videos with the subtitles, that's also an option. And please, I'll say it, Holbert will say it.
Yes.
Refer to the slides and videos on credible sources. You say it too.
Yes, that is I'm just so tired of people just stating things and causing panic, and news sources are fixating on just really stupid things. And I think that we
you
need
mean like injections of disinfectants cure coronavirus?
Possibly.
No.
But just it's now the time. And again, I do address this in the videos I posted as well. And I know Ms. Rivera believes this as well, that it is now more important than ever to become critical thinkers, to become just well-informed human beings, right?
Question it. Like when my dad told me that eucalyptus cures coronavirus, I was like, let me see your research. Cite your source.
Please, from a medical journal, not just an opinion piece written by
Facebook,
todaynews.edu./_592
from Russia.
Yeah.
And yeah, y'all join us for our office hours today at 1 p.m. I'll be reading aloud that article that I had highlighted in the article document. And Holbert?
Tomorrow, Tuesday 3 to 4, I will be reading, looking at credibility, and filling out the evidence tracker. If there is already a conflict during those times, so if you have to be in a live class until 3:30, or if you have to visit someone else's office hours during that time, know that you can jump in at any point in time. And also, I'll be recording office hours and uploading them to Instagram and Google Classroom in case you can't make it.
Word. Same. What she said.
Whee!
Okay. With that, we hope we were clear. We hope we answered any of the questions that you were going to have. If not, please ask us. I always have my phone on me. All right, y'all.
Thank you. Okay.
Peace out. Bye. I might edit this out. This might be take 1 of 17.
It'll work. We'll make it work.